My name is Esther Kim, and I'm the Portfolio Director at REDF in San Francisco.
And what's REDF?
REDF stands for the Roberts Enterprise Development Fund. We are a nonprofit that grants and helps provide business assistance to nonprofit-run small businesses. And the small businesses are designed to help people with the greatest barriers to employment enter the workforce.
And so you're at this workforce conference called
Yes.
Meeting of the Minds of Monterey. One of its key focus areas is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the themes you've heard at the conference about leadership that resonate with you?
I think one of the things that are the key takeaway for me at this conference is the fact that the needs have become greater and more diverse in terms of workforce development. So it's a broader range of people needing help in workforce development and a broader set of solutions, potential solutions. For instance, we work with social enterprises. For us, we need people who understand both the needs of a business, how to start, run, operate a business, as well as what it takes to successfully employ people with real challenges to entering the workforce. And to do both of those well at the same time requires a really special kind of leadership. That's a challenge.
And what kinds of skills does it require to do that sort of work?
Well, in terms of hard skills, obviously being able to run a business, so having some small business experience or experience in a particular industry related to that business is absolutely key. But on top of that, understanding that it's not just about running a business profitably, it's also about creating jobs within that business that are actually appropriate for who you're trying to help. Because for us, the whole point of social enterprise is to help people be successful. So for instance, this manager should understand that if somebody doesn't show up to work on time, instead of just firing them, maybe it's asking why. Well, what's going on? What's behind the scenes? What made them not come to work on time? And what can I do to help them be successful and be more patient? So thinking about what are the needs of the workers as well as the needs of the business and doing those at the same time.
What kind of role does your organization play in terms of, what kind of leadership role do you play in terms of working with other partners in your area?
We do a couple of things. We work hands-on with the leaders and managers of the social enterprises that we fund. And so we do a lot of hands-on professional development and coaching work. We also have an MBA fellowship program and an internship program that actually helps to bring in MBA students and people who have professional experience in the for-profit sector and help them to bring them into the nonprofit sector and specifically around social enterprise. So we do both hands-on leadership development as well as a formal fellowship and leadership program.
And what are some of the leadership lessons that you might be able to offer some of the people that were just in our session here, policymakers and executive directors of workforce boards and state-level workforce development specialists? What sort of lessons would you offer based on your experience that would help kind of cultivate their understanding of leadership?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that, as I mentioned, the sort of multidisciplinary and broad range of problems that are surfacing in terms of workforce development may require some creative solutions around where to find these leaders and how to develop them. So they might not be in your usual places. They might be in business schools or not necessarily in the traditional kind of career path that you would expect. They might be former entrepreneurs, people who've run small businesses for 20, 30 years and now are thinking, well, how do I use my skills to give back to the community? Maybe they could be the ones to take leadership, but it's from a different angle. It's from a different place than they would normally expect. So it's maybe thinking more creatively about where to find and how to cultivate these leaders.
Have you met leaders here that you feel like you could learn things from, and what are the lessons they were able to share with you?
I've met some amazing people at this conference so far, and I think the one thing that I've really taken away is sort of the understanding of what we don't know. So the humility that comes with, well, gosh, I have all this experience, but here's how much more I don't know. And that sort of willingness to be humble and take a step back and say, well, what am I doing wrong? Or how can I do this differently? Rather than saying, this is the way I've been doing it, this is the only way that works. I've been actually very impressed with sort of the level of sort of self-awareness and humility. And I think those are two things that are essential to any good leader, because that's what it takes to solve problems, is to understand what you don't know and then work towards finding a solution to that.